Hey everybody, and welcome back to Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. From here on, we shall continue on with the trial, and Lemuel is about to testify again. Let's go. I won't recap anything in the past. You'll have to watch it yourself. What I saw too. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exits. There was someone sitting like a little window there. That's how I saw it. There were two shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. It wasn't Machi. It was a grown person. I know it was. So you did witness the crime. And the killer was a grown person, you say? This is my first time hearing this, I assure you. Nice play, Airforehead. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your cross-examination. Great going, Apollo. You were right about Lemuel. What's wrong? You don't look too happy. This whole thing smells fishy. That's what's wrong. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go in person, you say?
Hold it!
A grown person? That's a little vague. I am sorry. My skill with your language is lacking, I know. Certainly you can at least see whether the shooter was male or female. It was a man. A young man. And you're sure of that? Yes. His voice was quite clear. Voice? Looking at this diagram, it seems the dressing room was quite cluttered. It does seem likely that you wouldn't have had a clear view of the shooter. As a singer, I rely more on my ears than my eyes. When I hear a voice, I do not forget it. I know to start this video, but I need some water. When I hear a voice, I do not forget it. That voice was the voice of a man. So you heard a voice, but wait. Couldn't that have been the victim, Mr. Latouche? Absolutely not. Didn't I just say that I do not forget a voice? If it was Mr. Latouche who spoke, I would have known. Indeed. So you were at the window and you heard the shooter's voice, the voice of a young man. Oh, this is a good testimony. That proves it wasn't Machi. Indeed. If this turns out to be true, it will cast this case in a considerably different light. What is the defendant's opinion on this testimony? Pretty sure it's contradictory. If I say it's pretty good, it would have Clavier making fun of us, but that's nothing new anyway, so let's keep going with the correct one. Though it pains me to say this, there's something about Lemuel's testimony that rings false. Bravo, Airforehead. You're colder than I thought. I'm sure you remember what the problem is as well as I do, Gavin. As has been established, no grown man could pass through that event. He couldn't have fled the scene of the crime. Sorry about that, I had to pause my recording to go have dinner. Anyway, I'm back. So I'll just repeat what this says here. He couldn't have fled the scene of the crime. But that means Lemuel has to be lying. I know it's bad for our case, but I can't shut my eyes to this. Believe me, the idea was tempting. Is it as Airforehead says? Yet, This is not the only contradiction within her testimony. What next? What are you talking about? Lemure. I understand why you would want to protect Machi. Yet remember, you are the assignment of the ballad, and lies do not become such a creature. What does the prosecution mean? Apollo, what is he talking about? How come no one bats an eye when he says stuff like that? I recall the state of the crime scene quite well. The scene of the room? Yes, and when the murder took place, that window was closed. I find it hard to believe you could hear a voice through it. What? But I'm sure. Lemure, I have nothing but the highest regard for your musical sense. But my opinion of you as a witness is somewhat lesser.
Objection!
But she's the only eyewitness we have.
Objection!
So you say, and the victim named her, the siren, as the witness? That's right. That's what Mr. Latouche. We heard your claim. We even entertained the possibility. And it brought us to this. Air Judge. Yes? The prosecution requests that the witness be excused. Please. I'm afraid I must honor the prosecution's request. There is indeed a question on the witness's credibility. But if Lemure can't testify, then we won't have a chance of proving Machi's innocence. This cross-examination is over. Prosecutor Kevin, you may continue making your case. Donkey. Now where were we? Ah yes, I'd like to hear from the following detective again.
Objection!
Wait, let me hear Lemure's testimony one last time. But the cross-examination is already over. Until such a time as need arises, this witness may leave the stand. I'm sorry I could not be of more assistance. And last, back to the real trial. Ready, you forehead? I hope it didn't just miss my only chance. Following detective, how far had we gotten until we were so rudely interrupted? Don't ask me. I just like saying the same thing twice. And I never repeat a song for an encore. If you would, Miss Sky. I believe I was saying that the only way Mr. Latouche's killer could have escaped was through that air vent on the ceiling. Ah, yes, there was only one door in the room. And a witness, you, was standing in front of it. The air vent isn't very big, see? Kind of limits the people who could possibly get through. I certainly wouldn't have a difficult time. You sure would. No, not that you would have been there in the first place, though. Remember, the whole backstage area was off limits to people not involved with the concert. The only one who meets the conditions for a killer is the defendant. A virtuoso performance. I couldn't have put it better myself. She just stated a clear case. Though reading the report suddenly caught my eye. Oh? What's that? The circumstances of the defendant's arrest. The circumstances? Again? Hey, that's right, Apollo. Remember when we found when we found Machi? That was bizarre. She's right. Why did Mr. Latouche's body disappear from the room and end up on the top of that stage tower, holding a guitar no less? Perceptive observation, Air Judge. Thanks. It was kind of an accident, really. Were you working this job long enough? You get a nose for these things. The judge sure seems pleased with himself. Very good, following detective. Perhaps you can tie it all together for us. Why was the body moved? And how does that lead us to the killer? missing body. I believe Machi stole the body because of some lyrics. He moved the body to match Lemuel's song. No one in this country had a motive to kill the victim. And Machi practically left the signature at the scene. All of this evidence clearly points to the defendant. Lemuel's song? Yes, the guitar's serenade. You noticed its code too, did you not? Its code? All the evidence that day followed the lyrics to our song. First, the keys that my heart held on to so tightly were stolen. Then Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flames on stage. Mr. Latusa's life was taken by a bullet. The rest hardly needs explanation. Guitar, guitar, up together into the sky. That's mad. It's like a story out of some fairy tale. I admit I'd forgotten about the song, but there it is now, waiting for me, the grand finale, as it were. Hey, I was the one who first noticed that. I've heard of jumping rope to songs and counting to songs. But killing? It's a wild world out there, Air Judge. Very well. We've heard one song and dance. Let's get on to the cross-examination. I'm not so sure I'm going to be doing much singing. Okay. I'm gonna press this.
Hold it!
But Mr. Latusa spoke English. He may have come to this country before. I looked into that, I assure you. Oh. It was his first time in the country, it seems. Apparently he learned English on his own. Great. You see, no one here had a motive to kill him, and certainly not in an elaborate fashion. It does seem difficult to imagine. Unless our famous prosecutor did it as a publicity stunt. What do you say? Prosecutor Gavin? You just to promote your song? Of course not. I am quite dismayed by the ludicrous nature of your claim. Why would I need promotion? Everyone already visits my music. Even in my textbook in school. I never heard of them. What does that say about me? I was just kidding. Don't get all woke up, Glimmer Boy. Okay.
Hold it!
But you can't say that for sure. Please, none of those non-scientific objections. They're bad for my complexion. What's so scientific about a murder by two lyrics? Lyrics can be explained scientifically. Never underestimate the power of science. Put that bottle of finger pudding powder down before you hurt someone like me. Okay, then explain it. Scientifically. I require more data. Ha! Ugly story. This doesn't look so good. Does it, Apollo? No, it doesn't. What do we do? First, we don't panic. Even though Machi's case is licking water by the gallon. Gavin's on a roll, and it's up to me to stop him. Interesting.
Hold it!
What do you mean by his signature? The bullet holes in the wall, of course. The bullet holes? The revolver was fired twice. One shot missed and left a hole in the wall. And that means what exactly? That dressing room isn't exactly spacious. Picture the shooter facing off with the victim in there. They can't have been more than 5 feet apart. It would be difficult, almost impossible, to miss that at that range. Difficult to miss, you say? Very. Assuming the shooter could properly aim. No, you can't be serious. Machi, he can't see. That's why he missed. Wait, that's why he missed? It's the only explanation that makes sense. He's used sound and other senses to fire the gun. Poorly. That reminds me, the monitor in that room was blaring in the time, yeah? All the ideal conditions for tracking my sound. A blind shooter. No wonder he missed. I knew those bullet holes would come back to haunt me. Think justice, what do I do now? Raise an objection. Sure, there are bullet holes enough in the wall. But that doesn't prove the shooter couldn't see. Oh? How so? Well, there could have been a struggle with the victim. That's certainly possible. And it might have been the revolver's fault. The revolver? The revolver was a very large caliber, correct? If the shooter wasn't used to trying such a large weapon, why, it could dislocate the shoulder. Exactly. The defendant, Machi is, as you can see, tiny. It's not so hard to picture him firing the gun and missing entirely. The kickback alone would throw off his aim. A convincing argument, to be sure. Haha, take that, smug prosecution. Apollo? Huh? What? That bit about Machi being tiny? And the gun throwing off his aim? Aren't you kind of, mean that he did it? Oh. It does not matter why he missed. What matters is that the shooter was, without a doubt, the defendant. Even the defense seems to agree on that point. Yuck! Cripes! I really put my foot in it this time. But let's get the facts of the matter on the record. If you would, Fraulein Detective. Very well. The witness will add this to her testimony. Right. From the scene of the crime scene, I conclude the shooter was blind. Time to present evidence to prove otherwise. The prosecution holds the shooter couldn't see. A scientific conclusion based on the thorough examination of the crime scene, yes. Apparently not thorough enough. I have a certain piece of evidence that completely overturns your claim. What? This is that evidence. The photograph of the crime scene? I don't care much for the smoke the prosecutor gave its face. But this is no time to think twice. Time to press on. Yes, Your Honor, the crime scene. There was something in here that decisively contradicts the prosecution's point. Then perhaps you best show to us this something. Get your finger out of the breeze and put it to good use, yeah? Very well. Show us what you're talking about, Mr. Justice. The contradiction at the scene of the crime is this.
Take that!
The contradiction is right here. The smooth bloodstains. I thought it was just my blurry vision. But it really was blurry. The way the victim's hand is raised above his head. Much like a gesture I have seen many times in this court. Almost as if he wrote something. Aha! I get it. At least, I think I get it. Okay, what, Fraulein? When Mr. Latus was shot, he tried to write something. And what would he write but the shooter's name? And what would he write in it but his own blood? Pretty good, huh? Thanks for making my point for me. Yes, in fact, that's what I think happened here. There does seem to be a distinct possibility. The victim wrote the killer's name. It's certainly a logical conclusion. That, and this wish wasn't rubbed out like that. Of course, it's rubbed out. If I were a killer, I certainly wouldn't have wanted to leave my own name in behind. Neither would I. No one has anything else to say? About what? So the prosecution accepts this? You agree that this was the victim making an attempt to record the name of the killer? And then the killer tried to rub the name out? What's your point? What's my point? Let me ask you this. How did the killer know that the victim was writing their name? Well, Mr. Latus was writing something in blood. Once the killer saw what it was... Wait. Once he saw what it was? What did you just testify about the shooter? I said they were blind. Ack! And the crime scene itself contradicts that. The killer had to have been able to see. Why would they rub out their name in blood otherwise? Maybe I reminded the court that the defendant, Machi is blind. He couldn't have been the shooter. Impossible! Order! But Prosecutor Gavin, please explain to me what all this means. I mean, looking at this photo, it seems quite clear that the shooter could see. Yet up until now, it seems that I owe the court an apology. The Gavineers have a band with law enforcement ties, yet a murder occurred during our concert. Apparently, this caused some confusion over jurisdiction. As a result, some reports were not filed in an entirely timely manner. I'm not sure I like the vibe I'm getting here. Hey, Apollo, look at him. Why is Prosecutor Gavin all relaxed and smiling like that? Like he knows something we don't, and he's about to tell us. I've got an idea. Let's rock. With these documents. But before that, I have a question for the following detective. If I may? What? Tell me, why do you think that Machi is blind? Huh? What did you say? What are you saying? Of course he's blind. Of course. He's the blind pianist, right? So he's... Doesn't let me only lead him around by the hand all the time? No way. I have a report here on the defendant, Machi. According to this, Machi can see perfectly well. What? His blindness was merely a publicity ploy by those clever Virginians. He can see quite well.
Objection!
But you said... What did I say exactly? Forehead. Not once in the course of this trial have I claimed the defendant was blind. The only one who did was following detective. But that's a significant fact, yes. Consider Machi sees. And he was the only one who could have fled through the event. I see no problems with this. But what about the bullet holes in the wall? Yes, the bullet holes. I believe Forehead neatly explained those for us. He didn't miss because he couldn't see. It was the kickback from the 45 caliber revolver. A simple accident, in other words. Ack! How was that? I'm afraid your objection has just flown off for a bright for brighter skies. Ugh. This is where the real fun begins, Air Forehead. Yarg! I knew you didn't have what it took. You jerk. This is what I was aiming here for. Comic relief? Yeah, apologize. Ha ha ha. Oh, sorry. That's not no way to apologize. He's angry with Trucy now. Look out. Ahem. If we could please end the bickering now. Whatever. I'm not leaving. I can't leave like this. I'll come up with some clue to solving this case if it kills me. Your testimony has already given us enough evidence to convict the defendant. Ugh, don't say that. Aha. Aha what? This bloodstain. The criminal tried to wipe it off, right? That seems to be what happened, yes. We might be able to find out what was really written here. Really? You can do that? That's right, with this. It's called luminol. Maybe you know of it? It's a chemical that reacts to blood. Oh yes, have we done those tests yet? Ha, as if I'm going to tell you. As if I'm going to tell you. The blood stains recovered a section of the carpet. In order to perform blood tests, that section was removed and submitted. Perhaps we should request it here in court now. Right, go for it, Apollo. Huh? I have to do the test? You just have to spray the luminol on it. Simple. A chemical that reacts to blood. I've heard of this somewhere. Yes, I believe an analysis is called for. Have at it. Right, ready? It's easy as pie. Just press space to spray an area. Here, give it a try. The eyes of the entire court are focused on me. Apollo, your hand's shaking. Ugh. Let's do this. Okay. Aha. Interesting. Wow, it really works. This must be the power of science. It says IPXX314206. Is that the killer's name? Maybe it is. If the killer is a robot. Ha ha, I have it. So what is it? I thought those letters IPXX looked familiar. This is an Interpol ID number. Interpol? You mean the International Police Agency? Yes, most are undercover agents working to solve international crimes. But why would he write that number? Why would Mr. Latrus even know a number like that? Good job, Fraulein Detective. Rock on. Eh? Your Honor, you can verify this number immediately. Darian, are you there? Come up to the witness stand. Darian, you heard what we need. Go check into this Interpol ID number. Sure thing. Give me 30 minutes. No, give me 27. I'm not sure what to think of all this. The prosecution's cases are airtight, or so it seems. Yet if this number is really that of an Interpol agent... Oh, wait. I know. What if Machi is really an undercover Interpol agent? He's 14, Emma. He's younger than you are. He's like a third of my age. That would be a possibility. A possibility, yes. And one that would mark him as a killer for certain. Why didn't we do the Zeus know an Interpol number, ID number? That's what I want to know. Well, we have some time while we await Darian's report. Let's work on unraveling another mystery, shall we? A curious mystery concerning Machi. What are you talking about? Fallen Detective, Please accept my apologies. I received word that the defendant could in fact see just before the trial began. It seemed too much of a bother to tell you. You had me until that last bit. Does this not raise a rather straightforward question? Well, sure. Why did Machi pretend he couldn't see? Exactly. That makes little sense. What do you think, Air Forehead? Huh? Me? Machi pretended he was blind. Do you know why? How can you know? Wait, Prosecutor Gavin knows why, doesn't he? He's known from the start of the trial. He's been leading us on the whole time. Something wrong? Do you think perhaps this is all some kind of game? Know that the moment I heard that report, I knew why. I suppose the people who have sold over 1 million records really are something else. What does that have to do with anything? There was a reason why Machi Tobei pretended to be blind. But it wasn't for its own sake. Can you even get the picture now? It wasn't for himself? Well, Mr. Justice, can you present evidence that shows us why the defendant had to feign blindness? Show evidence. Machi had no reason to pretend he couldn't see. Which means, no, it couldn't be. Good show, Forehead. It seems you've thought of something. Why can't I figure these things out on my own? I ain't having to take my cues from this guy. Very well, look at this. This is why he was pretending he couldn't see. I think it's this thing. Postcard.
Take that!
That is Lemure and Machi Tobei. Recall the relationship. In particular, their unique arrangement over the years before visiting our country. Lemure and a pianist. They would always walk together, she leading him by the hand. Even when they got on stage, she would lead him to the piano. She would walk all the way over there with him. That's right, because he was blind, quote unquote. She led him at all times, never letting him go. All times. Yet we have just learned something that makes their arrangement peculiar indeed. Machi could see. Why did they have to keep up this act the whole time? Well, wasn't that part of their performance? I think there's a simpler explanation. Machi did not need to be led by the hand at all. That can only mean one thing. Really? Really, it was all the other way around. The one who needed to be led by the hand was Lemure. What's this? So you mean to say that Lemure she's... Yes, Your Honor. Lemure is blind. What? Order! This is crazy, Prosecutor Gavin. Is it now? Please shed some sanity on this madness. The defense has made an outrageous claim. The only thing outrageous I am seeing about the defense is his vast forehead. Yeah, I see it is not vast in vain, this time. He's quite correct. But that makes no sense. Yeah, wasn't she supposed to be the landscape painter in the sound or something? Well, since we have her here, why not ask Lemure herself? I believe she is still in the witness waiting room. Apollo, what does it mean for our case? Don't ask me. I had no idea she couldn't see. I hadn't even imagined it until now. Bailiff, bring in Lemure. Lemure. The pains me deeply to call you before us again in this way, and yet I must. Please, do not be concerned on my behalf. Those eyes, she really can't see? Really? It is true. How funny it is that a tiny lie born in the Burgundian countryside would one day grow to entinkle the entire world. So you are? Yes, as I mentioned before, I have no memory of the time before I became Lemure. Know too that my memories begin in darkness. The word light has no meaning for Lemure. I see. Let me recall me saying something toward the beginning of this trial, Airforehead. What's that? I believe I said it was unfortunate this crime had no direct witnesses. Ah. Now, Lemure, I must ask you to stand once more. Will you testify to the court about your eyes? Okay, we're actually almost done with this part of the trial, so I'm going to go ahead and just finish it off here. Of course, it was never my intent to deceive any of you. May I begin, Your Honor? Yes, of course. Though I admit, I'm a little lost here. I think we're all a bit lost here, Your Honor. Okay. This is the last testimony of this part of the trial. Lemure's eyes. I have no memory of the light. I debuted in a world of darkness and sound. My producer came up with my PR line before he knew this. So silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others. But this is a murder trial. I apologize. It was part of my contract, you see. I was to keep my blindness a secret, no matter what. Music is everything for me. I never imagined something like this would. She told us the truth in the beginning, when she said she saw nothing. Very well. Does the defense have anything to add? I'd like to cross-examine. But what is there left to ask? There was one thing in her testimony that bothered me. Perhaps it is best to let you get it out of your system. Someday you'll come to understand the importance of thinking for yourself. Very well, the defense may proceed. However, be aware this court will not tolerate any questions deemed too stressful to the witness. Okay, there was only one part of that bothered me. Just let me ask about that and I'll be happy. Okay. Let's keep all these. We can't really need. There's no point in pressing it.
Hold it!
When you say your staff, do you include Mr. Latouche? Of course, he was my manager. That's what he knew, and that's what's been bugging me. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? I believe I know what is bothering the young defense attorney. You were thinking of when you discovered the body, yes? Is he right, Apollo? Yes, I was. He's alive. Mr. Latouche, can you hear it? Can you hear me? Cold. So cold. Witness. You're cold? Don't worry, you're going to be fine. Help us on the way. Can't see. Hang in there, Mr. Latouche. Tell me, who was the witness? The witness is Simon. Mr. Latouche told me to ask the witness, and he named you. Why would he do that? He knew you were blind. I don't know. What did I just say? You need to learn to think for yourself. Meaning what? There was no mystery here if you recall everything he said. think of his last words once more. The witness? Siren? We've heard them many times, along with a little play-acting by our defense. I remember them well myself, but that statement is not to what I refer. I mean what he said before that. Before? What came before that? Ack! That's right. He tried to tell you. When he said can't see, he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about the witness. I see. Too bad your defense did not. Well, Airflowhead, try relaxing and looking at the facts first next time. Ugh. Order. Recall Lemur's audio testimony. I was on my way from the backstage exit. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But she couldn't have heard those gunshots. I thought we proved that. That is not the most important point here. The moment he was shot, Miss Latus witnessed her through that window. Why else would he have named her as the witness? But I really did hear them. 2 gunshots, and the man's voice. Unfortunately, such a thing was impossible. The window was closed. They've already run a simulation, of course. But it was so clear. If I heard that voice again, I would know it in an instant. Your Honor! What is this, bailiff? Can't you see we're in session here? We have the results back from the investigation. The investigation? The Interpol number that Mr. Latus left us. Well, let's hear it. We will continue this cross-examination afterwards. Detective Crescend, your report, please. I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing. Quick work as always, Darian. Well, tell us about the number. Is the defendant a secret agent? IPXX 314206. The agent registered under this number was Romian Latus. Ooh. What? Our undercover Interpol agent was Mr. Latus himself. He was apparently in the middle of an operation. So when he wrote those letters, he was trying to tell us his own identity. An unconscious killer tried to wipe him away. Mr. Latus was an undercover Interpol agent, so him being Lemur's manager was just undercover, most likely. There's one other important detail I found. Well, out with it. It concerns that 45 caliber revolver, the murder weapon. Apparently, it belonged to Romian Latus. He had an Interpol permit to carry firearms, and the registration number on the revolver matched. So the victim was killed with his own weapon, which makes sense. It's hard to imagine someone who wasn't an Interpol agent with such a large revolver. So the victim was an Interpol agent on an undercover op. I wonder how that ties into everything. It's got to tie in somehow, you think? Yeah, somehow. Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescend. It's a great help. Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out. Hold it. Wait. Lemur, is something the matter? That voice just now. Darian? Mr. Darian, is it? It was him. I am sure of it. It was him? You are insane. That voice I heard, talking to Mr. Latus, when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darian. Is this some kind of a joke? What? No way. The courtroom fell into such a chaotic state, the trial had to be suspended temporarily. I I've never seen that happen before. Of course, it's not every day that you get an accusation like that one. Lemior, Diggling, Darian, Crescend. Not only is he a Taurus, he's a detective. Could it really have been his voice Lemior heard? Things were changing fast. And frankly, I wasn't sure I could keep it up with it. Hey, no wimping out now, Apollo. To be continued. And good, we have 45 minutes now. Oh yes, I want to save. I'm going to save it right here. Alright, and with that everyone, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and hit that like button. And next time, we shall continue on with day 2 of the investigation. So until then, have a great rest of your day, and take care.